Hello dear NRIs. We've all been in situations when we've exhausted our savings and need money for some unexpected expenses. It can be anything from medical bills, education, or that much needed business trip to close an important deal. Well, emergency expenses are like your uninvited relatives. They can knock on your door at any time. You might be able to avoid your relatives by making an excuse, but emergency expenses are unavoidable. Although I can't help you with your excuses to escape your relatives, I can definitely help you manage your emergency expenses. From the thumbnail, you can figure out that I'm talking about NRI personal loans. And if you've recently shifted abroad, you know that getting loans in a foreign country can be difficult. This is where NRI personal loans come to your rescue. In this video, we'll cover what is an NRI personal loan, interest rates, eligibility criteria, and the documents required to apply for it. 5 best NRI personal loans, tips to improve your chances of getting an NRI personal loan. And in the end, I'll answer some of the most commonly asked questions. Basically, everything you need to know about NRI personal loans. If you like this lineup, please like the video and hit that subscribe button. Okay, let's get started. What is an NRI personal loan? An NRI personal loan is a type of loan that helps NRIs borrow money to fund several personal expenses like moving expenses, wedding costs, medical bills, vacation, home repairs, etc. Unlike car loans, home loans, or mortgage loans, which lend money for specific purposes, NRI personal loans enable you to use the borrowed amount as you wish. Interest rates for personal loans are usually higher than other loans, and thus you should apply for personal loans only when you don't have other options. The best part about NRI personal loans is that you don't need to convert the received loan amount into your preferred currency. In some banks, you can choose between INR, USD, or other currencies depending on the bank's policy. The loan tenure and interest rates for NRI personal loans vary from bank to bank. For example, ICICI NRI personal loan interest rates start from 15.49% per year, and the loan tenure goes up to 36 months. On the other hand, South Indian Bank charges 6.6% to 14.1% along with repo rate for NRI personal loan, and the loan tenure is up to 60 months. Interest rates for NRI personal loans also depend on which type of NRI personal loan you opt for, secured or unsecured personal loan. First, let's discuss secured personal loan. As the name suggests, a secured personal loan for NRI is given against a security or collateral. This collateral can be anything from fixed deposits, shares, or real estate property. Since you pledge some collateral before taking such loans, the non-repayment risks for banks become much lower, and hence they may offer lower interest rates for secured personal loans. Moving on to the second type of NRI personal loan, an unsecured personal loan, which does not require you to pledge any collateral, and it is given based on your credit reputation and other factors like income, outstanding debt, assets you own, etc. As you might have guessed, the interest rates for these loans are relatively higher as the non-repayment risks shoot up. Now that you have a fair idea about NRI personal loans, it's time to check if you are eligible to take such loans or not. Let me give you a brief overview of all the important points you should know before applying for an NRI personal loan. But before I share the eligibility criteria, please note that different banks have different criteria for giving NRI personal loans. First things first, make sure you have an NRE or NRO account ready. The loan amount is sent to your NRE or NRO account, so you must ensure you have one of these accounts. Second, a co-applicant is a must for getting an NRI personal loan. A co-applicant is a person who will be jointly responsible for the loan. Most banks require the applicant to be a resident Indian and the co-applicant an NRI close relative. For those who tried to sneak in your elder brothers as guardians in PTA meetings during your school days, let me tell you, this won't work here. To get an NRI personal loan, the co-applicant must be a close relative. No friends or business partners are allowed. Number 3, on this eligibility criteria list is your age. NRI personal loans are given to people who are at least 21 years old. The maximum age limit is typically 60 years. Again, this depends on the loan issuing bank. Next requirement is proof of employment. If you're a salaried employee, you must have been working in the same company for at least a year, and you must submit proof of income while applying for this loan. If you're a self-employed person, you must submit the business proof, and your business must have been running for at least 3 years. Wait, do you own a property in India? I ask this because some banks will waive this requirement if you have a real estate property in India. Before we move ahead, let me ask you something. What's the first thing you will do once you know you're eligible for an NRI personal loan? Collect all the necessary documents, right? Let me help you make a document checklist to apply for an NRI personal loan. So the documents required for an NRI personal loan, both applicants, NRI and the resident Indian, need to submit the required documents. Now here's a list of documents you need to apply for an NRI personal loan. You need these documents along with the loan application form. Banks may also request other documents if necessary. Before you go to collect all these documents, let's discuss some personal loan offers for NRIs by some major Indian banks, shall we? First loan offer on our list is from India's second largest lender, ICICI Bank. It offers you an unsecured loan of up to 10 lakh rupees with interest rates starting at 15.49% per annum. Let's look at these three major highlights of ICICI Bank personal loan for NRIs. You don't need any collateral for getting this loan. Second, ICICI Bank offers competitive interest rates starting from 15.49% per year. And lastly, you get a repayment tenure of up to 3 years. Now, the second loan offer on our list comes from the State Bank of India. With SBI's loan against deposit scheme for NRIs, you can borrow money against your NRE, NRO, FCNRB deposit. You can use this loan for business activities, to buy a property in India, or to fulfill your emergency financial requirements. There is no maximum loan amount cap on this loan, and the interest varies depending on the deposit you take for the loan. For example, if you choose the special term deposit or term deposit receipt for your FCNRB account, you must pay 2.9% over 1 year MCLR on the rupee loan you borrow. If we talk about the loan tenure, it depends on the maturity of the deposits in the case of NRE and NRO accounts. In the case of FCNRB deposits, it again varies depending on which loan you opt for, rupee loan or foreign currency loan. Moving on to three major highlights of SBI loan against scheme. First things first, you get to choose between different loan types based on your requirements. You can choose between a demand loan, overdraft, or a foreign currency loan. Now, the second big highlight of this loan is that you get both rupee loan and foreign currency loan options. Last and one of the most important highlights is that you can adjust your deposits to repay this loan. The next loan offer on our list is the South Indian Bank NRI personal loan, which enables you to borrow up to 20 lakh rupees and repay the amount within 5 years. To get this loan, you need a minimum credit score of 740. The interest rate ranges from 6.6% plus repo rate to 14.1% plus repo rate. Now let's see some of the major highlights of this loan. The first big highlight of this loan is the loan tenure. You can repay the loan within 5 years. Another advantage of this loan is that it will help you cover all major expenses, as the maximum loan amount is 20 lakh rupees. And lastly, South Indian Bank NRI personal loan also supports senior citizens. The maximum age limit to get this loan for self-employed individuals is 65 years. Next up on our list is Bank of Baroda's loan against FCNRB deposits. Bank of Baroda's loan against FCNRB deposits enables you to request a loan of up to 95% of the amount deposited. The major highlight of this loan is that it provides loans in multiple currencies including USD, British pound, euro, yen. To know more about this loan, you can visit the nearest Bank of Baroda branch or get in touch with their representatives online. The last loan offer on our list is Kotak Mahindra Bank's NRI Home Improvement Loan. Whether you want to surprise your parents in India with home renovation or renovate your home before you come to India for a vacation, Kotak NRI Home Improvement Loan has you covered. For NRIs having residential properties in India, Kotak Mahindra Bank NRI Home Improvement Loan helps you borrow up to 80% of the home renovation costs. The major highlight of this loan is its tenure, which goes up to 15 years. This brings us to the end of this list. Which personal loan offer do you like the most? Do tell me in the comments. Now I'll be sharing some tips that will help you while applying for an NRI personal loan. When I say tips, I mean how to fasten the loan process, how to negotiate better interest rates, etc. Now that I have your attention, let's start with the first tip. Ensure you have remitted enough money in your NRE NRO account in the past few months. Yes, you heard that right. Banks usually check your past transactions and deposits in your NRE and NRO account to determine whether or not you will be able to repay the loan. A good bank statement will help you fetch better interest rates and increase the chances of loan approval. The second tip is to ensure that you have a good credit score. Before approving the loan, banks check your credit score from both Indian credit ratings agencies as well as the credit rating rating agency in your current resident country to determine your credit reputation. For example, having a CIBIL score of more than 700 in India is considered a healthy credit score. The third and the most important tip is to read the fine print of the loan document carefully. Before signing the loan documents, make sure you're aware of different fees like loan processing fees, prepayment, and closure charges, and so on. Lastly, try to apply for the loan with your existing bank. Applying for a loan in your existing bank increases the chances of loan approval and speeds up the loan processes as you already have an ongoing relationship with the bank. Plus, if you've previously borrowed a loan from your existing bank and maintained a good repayment record, the chances of your new loan getting approved are definitely higher. I hope I've answered most of your questions about getting an NRI personal loan. If you still have some doubts, I have you covered. Yes, in the next segment, I will answer 3 most commonly asked questions about NRI personal loans. Let's get started. Number 1. Can I get an NRI personal loan if I'm already paying EMIs for another loan? The answer is yes. The only requirement is, after paying all your expenses and other loan repayment requirements, you should have sufficient net monthly income balance to pay for the personal loan you're applying for. The second most commonly asked question when it comes to NRI personal loans is, can I apply for NRI personal loan online? Well, yes, you can apply for NRI personal loan online without visiting the branch. But make sure you check with the respective bank to inquire if they provide an online loan application facility or not. Most banks have dedicated NRI help desks to help you out with all your queries. The last question on our list, do I need to submit any receipts to justify how I spend the loan? Not at all. Personal loans have no restrictions on how you spend the loan amount. So you don't need to submit any bills or receipts justifying your expenses. This brings us to the end of the video. But before you go, let me summarize the key points. Number 1, interest rate for personal loans is comparatively higher than other loans, and therefore you should apply for personal loans only when you require funds urgently and you don't have any other option. Second, go for secured personal loans if you can, as they have lower interest rates. The next important point is to maintain a healthy bank statement, good credit score, and apply for a personal loan with your existing bank to increase the chances of approval. And lastly, inquire about all the loan charges before signing the loan document. Wait, one more key point remains. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button, and for more such detailed NRI-focused finance videos, subscribe to Groww NRI. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.